The thing is tonight. The reason I had to move things back is because Ian, literally, I was like heading up here. I wasn't heading up here. I was like watching movies. Ian comes in and he goes, "We're going to a movie." I go, "Well, no, I got all the." He said, "We're going to a movie." I said, "Well, actually, what's it?" No, we're going to a movie. And I was like, "Oh, so people have been in your house too long, right?" The thing is there's just nothing else to, I mean, now there's nothing else to do. I literally got grabbed and went out to see a movie called Monster Hunter.
That's so out of touch.
And it was just, oh god,
It was terrible.
it was interesting. It was
Can I just say, the
yeah.
theaters have been closed here for pretty much 9 months. I mean, they opened them for
They're
a month.
completely closed?
Yeah, they opened them for about a
yeah.
month, and they just reclosed them about, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
So my AMC is never charged.
Well, here's the great thing about it. Here's the weird thing about Tennessee. I don't think the movies did shut down for a while there, but when they reopened, that's it.
Yeah.
They reopened, and the thing though is, honestly, I haven't been in a theater that's had more than 3 people in it yet.
Right.
I mean, it's just, and I had been in there. I've been there at premium times, like Saturday evening or Friday evening. Not a soul. And I keep thinking to myself, how long is this gonna last?
Well, it's like when I go to AMC theaters, you know how that is here. It's
Well, yeah.
So in March they said we're not charging your account. They haven't charged me since then. So.
Well, I had such an interesting thing happen to me. I was doing what is the name of the theater? Regal, right? And the thing is Regal had a $20 a month thing, right? And so
yeah.
So literally, I think in March, I said, well, I don't need this anymore. And they said, "Oh, not a problem. Everybody's canceling." So they let me cancel let me put it on hold, right?
Yeah, that's what mine is. It's on hold.
So it goes on hold, and then, like, for some reason, they gave me they sent me a letter. I mean, an honest to God letter that said, we're taking the hold off of all the accounts, and you've signed up for a year. So now you're going to pay us until it fills out a year.
Wow.
And I said, well, and here's the funny thing though, is the account that it was hooked up to had died because I lost that card.
Oh.
Or no, the card expired.
Right.
And so they still had the expired number. And I was like, well, good luck. I'm not giving you the new account. And they said, and literally they went from 0 to well, we're going to we're going to take the money anyway. And I said, well, that's going to be kind of hard because you don't know where to get it. And they say, well, you owe us, we're going to sue you. And I was like,
oh, wow.
Me and how many people? Really?
Right.
Me and half of the goddamn planet. Right. Good luck with that. Right. Oh, man. And they got really funny. And I was like, finally, I was like, literally got on the email. Finally we got into a whole email argument after they sent me real letters, and it goes back and forth. And I was literally typing things like, nah.
Oh, that's funny.
What the hell are you going to do?
The other night, 2 nights ago, I was actually over in Pasco by Fairchild or whatever cinema that is over there. Yeah. And it was like this big monolith because the lights were all turned off in the parking lot. It was this big outline of a building, and it was just all dark, and no cars were in there. And I swear a tumbleweed blew by when maybe I imagined the tumbleweed. But I
You
should
opened
have
the door with
videotaped it.
yeah.
So that's where we
I
are
see it.
here.
So it's curious. The there is something about 2021. I was just telling Ian about that. I said it seems like 2021 is going to be a year of reckoning for movies in general.
Yeah.
The other thing that was interesting is when we went to see this movie, the only 3 movies that were doing previews were Marvel movies, and I thought, well, that's really telling because I had said that it seemed like everything
The
had,
Marvel Theater.
yeah, the Marvels, it's like, hey, let's all go to the Marvels, and it seems to be like what it is, and no, it's going to be a complete restructuring. You know, I think that I I'm curious because I have actually had theater companies getting a whole. There's a company that's very much like Fathom Entertainment that is thinking of when it opens up next year that they're going to go out and do limited releases, and they've contacted me about my film that I'm directing,
Oh,
and
really? Yeah.
they're thinking that they will release that in theaters and make a big promotion for it.
Ooh.
And I thought, well, yeah, I can sign up with that. I've got a meeting with them in the middle of January to go over the whole thing.
Huh.
So
I wonder if
that'd
they'd
be
want
interesting.
to like premiere like an animated series, like.
We
Just
got to get
thinking.
back on top of that.
I was like, is there something we should be working on? What was it? I can't
I
remember.
swear I got so much. I'm in the middle of this time right now, and I'm writing. I'm trying to get a book about Nightmare on Elm Street 3 out. I am trying to get Vengeance 2's coming out, and I'm being asked to get into that. There's at least 3 films that want me to do stuff, different stuff for them, and in business and trying to get my house remodeled and all at the same. And it's exhausting making nothing.
Right. Yeah.
So
Well.
yeah.
Yeah. So we had this. We have like 4 listeners, I think, in Norway, and I don't think we have any in Sweden right now. So this is why I picked
Really?
this movie, because I thought maybe it'd bring
This
some
is
Swedes our way.
It is such a weird, interesting movie.
Well, can I
I
give you
mean,
some background?
sure, go
I
for it.
actually stumbled across this like blog or something somewhere where it was talking about this epic science fiction poem, and I'm like, what is this? And it was like called Aniara, and it was like some space poem, and it was written in 1956 by a Swedish author, and I researched it, and it was Harry Matheson. He actually won a
writer?
Nobel Peace Prize in 1974 because apparently he was a really good author, I guess. But I guess it was like some kind of in 1974. I guess it was a problem because he was on the committee. I don't know how this all works, the Nobel Committee, and so I guess people were like making fun of him in public, and he actually ended up committing suicide because he was so depressed. Like in 1978, I think it was. So, but the poem, I didn't really get a chance to read it because it's like 300 pages, and I only read like the first part. And there's a little segment of the first part that it was like, these present years when Earth become unclean with toxic radiation is accorded in time of calm, repose, and quarantine. I was like, oh my God, we got to watch this movie. So I found it
like
on
yesterday.
Prime.
You mean like yesterday and the way tomorrow is going to be.
Right. I thought this was a good way to end the year because it's talking about, well, I mean, it's about human extinction is really what this movie's about in a way.
Well, there's
a lot of stuff in this movie. Let's back up a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe.
How do we describe this? Okay, the Earth is dying. There's toxic radiation everywhere, and people have to go to Mars to live, basically.
Right.
That's how it starts.
And the thing that I was curious about, and this is just for my own edification, is this isn't the whole population of Earth. This is just one of many ships of this sort.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Um, wow. I mean, psychologically very deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Well, it didn't get too deep.
very
I feel like they kind of brushed the surface of being kind of really depressing, and then they didn't
yeah,
really.
well
I don't know.
well
It wasn't as serious as I
wait,
thought it would be. You know what I mean?
you know the thing about it is this is that when you're talking about societal movements and stuff like that, it always seems like there is a huge arc that's going on that is intercepted by the small arcs of daily life, and the small arcs of daily, it's like a wave with a carrier wave. It's like the big wave has got this overarching, no, we're heading towards our doom, but
Right. Yeah.
the little waves that are carrier waves, and that's the carrier wave, but inside of it, like the difference between FM
Yeah.
and AM
Yeah. A straight line versus a bouncy one.
right, yeah. Right, but the thing is that within a wave, that wave is made up of little tiny waves, and those little tiny waves are the day to day. And it was interesting how they kept jumping the story, kind of telling the story of the big wave by the little waves,
Right. Well, the big huge arc character arc, I want to say, is the main character. Her arc was amazing. So I mean, if you only followed her,
yeah.
And her little buddy was interesting too. I don't want to ruin anything, but her little friend.
yeah, her little friend.
But
yeah, it's just
no. I thought this was interesting, and I guess from what I gather is like Swedish films don't generally have a huge budget, which this looked like it had a small budget, and I was pretty amazed by how they used it because it was. I mean, I wouldn't say it was wonderful,
the thing
beautiful or anything.
Yeah, but the thing that was interesting about it, and I thought about that they made the ship large enough so that essentially they could shoot in malls,
right? Yeah.
or in inside of industrial complexes.
They should have done it. The whole set should have been IKEA. I mean, really, come on.
Or inside of an IKEA. But the thing is there were places where there was a restaurant that was like a restaurant off of a mall.
Yeah, it was like a mall.
Yeah, it was like off of a mall, and you thought to yourself, well,
I mean, it was like
it works.
Airport, casino, mall kind of look to it.
Oh, now, do you remember how many people? I could never find how many people was supposed to be on this ship.
I want to say.
Did you have any kind?
For some reason, I'm thinking 8,000, but I can't remember if that was right or not.
No, it had to be many more than that.
I don't remember how many it was then.
Okay, yeah, because
don't ask me. I don't remember. The pillows were from IKEA. Those were definitely from IKEA.
Pillows. Well, yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Face plant pillows.
It's funny because they did get away. At least they did after a while get away from that and go into normal daily depression.
Right.
Well,
yeah, I thought the production design, the overall look was kind of messy, but I was like, well, I guess if you're on a ship that's going to be for 3 weeks, it's probably going to have to look like that because you're going to have, things for people to do.
Yeah.
Like a cruise ship, I guess, kind of.
It looked like it was supporting maybe about 50,000 people or something like that.
Okay, yeah. We'll dub it in.
Yeah, well, yeah. See,
that's what I just said.
See the letters right there.
Well, actually, what I liked about this is it did have some elements because of Mima or whatever she was called was kind of like 2001 a little bit. But no, what I liked about this is it was unique pretty much because I don't think there's any other. I mean, it had I guess it's a common theme, but the way they did it was different. It was more like a way to think about it rather than. You know what I mean? It was more of a thinking film, I guess. I don't know how to really put that, but it's like.
Yeah, and the repopulation scenes.
Yeah. Well, let's think about this. We're all doomed. We're off course. Oh wait, I'll bleep that. We're all doomed. we may never get to our destination. We're likely to die of slow, agonizing death and never see our loved ones again. Have a snack. Compliments of our captain. I love that. It was great.
I know that was a little weak. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, 2 months of food. Wouldn't they start rationing? I was just saying. I mean,
you know what? I'm just telling you. The tagline of this film should have been "Come for the science fiction, stay for the orgy."
I thought it would be like this ship will. Let me see. The ship will never sink, or something like that. Like
if the ships are rocking, don't bother knocking.
It had Titanic totally. I mean, the only thing missing was somebody standing on the bow with their arms out. But
yeah, it's
Did you not think that was amazing though? How I'll bleep this out too, but how the committed suicide, like, because it was so depressed.
Yeah.
Brown Space Films.
They have a new film they're working on, a Star Trek film, Warrior's Death. So check it out.
Yeah, and you know what? I also have to tell you, from the watching, this was a perfect example of watching now it was Swedish.
Yeah.
Of watching a European film and getting smacked in the face by the overriding concern for other people that Europeans and Canadians,
well, Swedish people for sure, they have like a great healthcare system, don't they?
Right, but going back to the British styles of government and that thinking together to help put it together a society, how that kind of living produces a different type of movie. I mean, the way that people interact to each other is truly you do things for the greater good, and Americans.
Well, this even showed the dark side of human nature. Like when things were going bad, people got bad generally.
Right, but at the same time, there was a fealty to other people that Americans would have abandoned a hell of a long time earlier.
Yeah.
Than that, I mean.
Americans would have eaten all the food in the first day.
Right. Well, yeah.
And then start killing each other.
The only thing I could think of is that it would be like some kind of freak out scene out of like Naked Gun or something.
Like somebody opening the airlock. You can't go out there. You can't tell me what to do.
You can't tell me what to do. I'm an American. That's exactly.
I want somebody to make this movie actually now, because I think it would be interesting, a horror movie. Like you'd have them killing each other, like turning on each other. I think that'd be more interesting.
Probably. Yeah, instantly. Just turn around. Oh, we're in trouble. Ah!
I'm trying to figure out like some things like laws of physics. Like would a swimming pool work on a spaceship? I'm trying to figure out how that would work. I don't know. I guess with gravity, I guess it would work if you have that room always under gravity.
Well, see, the question is always this: is do you have gravity? Do you have a gravity machine? Have you figured out the workings of gravity, or are you using a centrifugal?
Like what? Yeah, like something spinning. That's what I was thinking.
A centrifugal style of.
They didn't have the budget for
gravity.
That. They could have used a salad spinner and put like a little model in it. Like, I would have believed it. But yeah, no, they had to use the swimming pool because they had to show her almost swimming up that girl's vagina. They had to use that. They had to do that shot.
Well, yeah. Wouldn't you if you could?
No comment. Did this remind you of something? Like there was a show I used to really like to watch. Actually, both versions of it I liked. But it reminds me of a show where they had a group of ships that were traveling through space, and they were actually running from something that was trying to kill them that they created themselves. And they're trying to find this fabled planet called Earth. Remember that?
Oh yeah. That's right. I know the one that you're talking about.
Battlestar Galactica. Yeah. So anyway, I still like the original so much. Yeah, that one. But this kind of had that kind of feel to it. Like it was like the fate of the human race or what kind of thing.
Yeah, it was and by the way, nice choice, like really getting me thinking about the long-term worthlessness of the human race right around Christmas.
Well, there was one lady that was like, you're falling in love. Well, that's meaningless. What's the point?
Yeah, well, yeah, and then people just start killing themselves,
Right. Yeah. Well, I didn't know this would be such a down. I mean, it was definitely had an Ingmar Bergman feel to it. It was.
Oh yeah. Oof.
Yeah. Playing
Woof.
chess with death, kind of.
Woof. Yeah, totally.
But I vibed with this, even though because I like movies like this.
I actually did like it. I liked it a lot. I was zipping through it. I will confess at certain points.
Yeah, I felt like I wanted to, but I can't figure out how to do that because I was watching on my
Well,
TV.
you know what? Sometimes I just sit there with the 10-second forward.
Oh
yeah.
I've done that.
Get a couple of minutes ahead, and then look, and then sometimes I swear I've gotten to the point to where I control the entire flow of the film really well. And whatever tools I've got, and then I watch. I'm
like that with podcasts. I can speed them up and hear pretty well.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know what? I've gotten to the point where I can absolutely hear a podcast at 2.5 times speed.
Yeah,
no problem.
I'm a lot more interesting.
Doesn't even faze me.
Oh, by the way, when I get bored, I listen to myself at like half speed. I sound like I'm really drunk. But no. So you can't. You have to speed this up if you want to get through it quick. But at the same time, you can't speed up this because it has to be slow paced. Like it wasn't too slow though. I feel like it was perfect, like the way it was paced out. It was only an hour and 40 minutes, I think.
Yeah, I don't have
I think they couldn't have
I don't have
an hour.
I don't have an hour and 40 minutes to devote to anything these days. I can't watch anything in an hour and 40 minutes. The thing is I'm gonna make a movie that this summer, The House in the Pines. I'm gonna direct The House in the Pines, and I tell you something, I'm gonna turn it over to an editor, and he's going to put it all together, and then I'm going to watch it. And the only time I'm actually going to watch it at normal speed will be the cast and crew screen. And then from then on, I will watch my hour 40-minute film in about 20 minutes.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think I've only watched Vengeance twice, and that was Vengeance, the first version that was put out a little too soon, and then the 2.0 version, the one that's out there now. I've only watched those two versions, and then I haven't gone back to it. And then I was really mad because I wasn't on the DVD behind the scenes stuff. There was not even one photo of me.
I haven't even seen it. I haven't seen the behind the scenes stuff at all. I haven't seen any of it.
Yeah, I got the DVD. I finally, it took me like probably 2 months to open it. I'm like, I should probably watch this. I ripped it open.
I'm terrible.
I watched it on Halloween, I think, or the day after Halloween. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I got Vengeance 2 sitting in my computer, and all kinds of people are going, "You have to watch it now." And I'm like, "Oh God." Everybody's asking me to watch stuff now,
Now see, you're sounding like me. You're whining. Anyway.
You know what? I just have a lot going on right now, and zero to give.
That's a good thing. That's how life should be, right? You should have a lot going on, and you shouldn't give a people think.
You shouldn't
right?
give what people think about it. That's true.
My 6-year-old said something. I was so proud of her. Actually, she turned 7. She just turned 7.
Wow!
But,
wow! Really?
In fact, that's why I was kind of glad that we moved this up, because today's actually her actual birthday. So we celebrated her birthday a couple weeks ago. We tried to separate it from Christmas a little bit, but so today was her actual birthday, and I was like, I don't think I can get online by 7:15, so we moved it up. I'm like, okay, this is cool. But anyway, she said something to my wife about I can't remember what I said. I think I was just joking with her because I used to like to draw a lot, and so my wife, I showed her something and she wasn't that impressed, and I just told my daughter, I was like, I was crushed. She crushed my dreams, and I was like totally kidding. And then my 7-year-old was talking to my wife, and she's like, why did you crush Daddy's dreams? And she's like, what do you mean? His drawing, and she's like, oh. I forgot about that. I think he was kidding. Like, and so she was like, my daughter said, well, you know, actually, you shouldn't really care what people think. You should just do what makes you happy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing.
There you go.
So there you go.
It's life in a nutshell.
Yeah, life on this spaceship. Just do
Yeah,
whatever the hell
life
you
on
want.
yeah, there. Do whatever you want. Yeah, yeah.
I don't
Have a
know.
nice orgy.
If I had Mima, I'd probably be on her 24/7, or I'd be masturbating relentlessly if I was on that shit.
Well, you're a guy. Yeah. Well, you're a guy.
Pretty
So-
much. I wouldn't even bother going to that party. I just I'm staying in my cabin. Anyway.
So,
So yeah. Oh, okay. Back to Aniara, I think is how you say it. The overall tone was amazing. I was vibing with it. The pacing was good. I thought the narrative was thought-provoking, but not too thought-provoking. It wasn't too deep. The acting was good. I liked how it was low budget, and they did a good job using the mall scenes they had.
yes, the mall that they had.
It felt like kind of like The Arrival, where you're kind of pondering like what would happen if you ran into well, not really the same, but you run into
Right.
alien life. I mean, I was hoping they
Yeah.
would run into something like that. But did you know that the Aniara is a Greek name, and it means sad and despairing? And I think it was created. That word was created by Martinson himself.
I was going to say by the guy who actually made
Yes.
this film. Exactly.
And he's the one that killed himself, so that kind of makes sense.
I'm going to give it a 3.5. I mean, I thought it was interesting. It was more interesting than it was entertaining.
Yeah,
Except
yeah, I
for
felt the same way.
except for in certain orgy parts.
Well, that was interesting how they just walked in and started stripping down. I'm like, okay, there was no music or no nothing.
You know, the interesting part about it is that I was going so fast that all of a sudden I got into that part and I went, wait, there's got to be a reason for this. But then all of a sudden I went, oh, yeah, we're going to have babies now, right?
Yeah. Well, you know it's low budget when they have to use mirrors. They have to hold the mirrors to make the room look more interesting.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That reminded me of your scene in Nightmare on Elm Street where you had the mirrors.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was actually a very interesting part, though.
Did you not think that there was no payoff really? So I mean, I felt kind of let down, I guess, a little bit in a way. I don't know. Maybe there shouldn't be an ending. Maybe that was the point, is that there's no closure.
Welcome to a European film.
I mean, there's a jawbone.
Hey, only a European film can actually end 6.8 million years after it started.
Right, yeah. Sarcophagus. Yeah. I did like the jawbone, but anyway, that was great.
Yeah.
That was a nice little touch.
I like the fact that it was it's mostly just dust going inside and I was going, oh.
Yeah, I think I'm actually, I would give it a higher rating if I felt like it had something to think about at the end, I guess. More than, I don't know. It just kind of went, okay, this sucks. Credits. It's like, okay. So I'd probably give it a higher rating actually, but I think I'm right with you. Like 3.5, somewhere around there.
Yeah, well, yeah,
because it was above average for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely above average.
But if you like big Hollywood movies with Will Smith, you probably won't like this one because that's all you watch.
Well, it depends on how there should be a warning that says at the very beginning that says, if you feel like killing yourself, you might want to end it an hour. Stop at an hour, wait until you get like 20 minutes past the orgy scene and then just shut it all down.
Or they should have little signals on when you should take a hit off your joint. Right now. I don't know. Well, they should have a disclaimer at the beginning. This has European women that you might not find attractive. Anyway, never mind.
There you go. Anyway.
Said too much.
Yes, you did. Yeah. Okay. I think enough of this.
Yes, okay.
Yes, because you know what? Eventually we're going to be dust.
Everybody's going to be dust eventually.
Yeah. I don't want, yeah, and I don't want this particular episode to run to that point.
I think we have a couple more in us.